when you really care about someone and the feelings are there and you can see that it's gonna go somewhere serious, you make time.
You hear that he's still on dating apps when you two aren't fully official, but you're still seeing each other. Little things like this, if you ignore these in the early stages, they'll only get worse. He's only going to get more disrespectful and he's only going to cheat on you more.
Let me give you 4 red flags in a man that you should never ignore. Number 1, inconsistent communication. If his texts are more on and off, like a Wi-Fi on and off, you already know that's a red flag. Number 2, excuses over action. If he's got reason for everything but solution for nothing, keep it moving. Number 3, disrespect towards others. If he disrespects the wait staff, just wait till the honeymoon is over with you all. Then you're going to get the same disrespect because disrespect is in him. And number 4, lack of accountability. Nothing is his fault. Everything is your fault or somebody else's. That's a man child and not a real man. Somebody put red flags in the comments. Red flags. Just put a lot of red flags. Go with God.
Let's go over 5 red flags in men that you should absolutely not ignore. Hopefully you catch these early before this person becomes your boyfriend so that it's easier to cut him off. Number 1 is super sus with his phone, always has it face down, never lets you see what's on his phone, never lets you touch his phone, gets extremely defensive when you ask about it. Somebody with nothing to hide hides nothing at all. So if he's freaking out, having a tantrum if you touch his phone or try to take his phone, always has it face down around you or on Do Not Disturb, gets mad when you ask about it, something is fishy there for sure. The next one is he doesn't bring you around his friends at all. Obviously, like, you don't need to be invited to everything, but if he refuses to bring you around, never introduces you to anybody, that's a problem. A guy that's proud to be with you should not be keeping you away from his friends or hiding you away. He should want to show you off, and he should want people that are important to him to meet you. The next one is he isn't nice to his mom. Obviously, this is a huge red flag because the way that a man acts with his mom is very telling of his character and how he was raised. If he disrespects her, bosses her around, complains, whatever, that says a lot about him, so pay attention to that. This next one gets me so mad. He follows tons of Instagram models or celebrities that don't follow him back. I could go on a tangent about this for literally 20 minutes. Obviously, a single man can do whatever he wants, like whatever, but if this is someone you're freshly talking to and you go through his following and he's following like all Insta models, all celebrities that don't follow him back, to me that just gives off major desperation and fan energy, and that's so unattractive. So unattractive. Also, would you really want to be with a guy where you're always stuck comparing yourself to girls he follows and trying to keep him impressed when you know that his entire feed is filled with Insta models and bikini pics? And the very last one, this is more so if you're in like the early talking stages or you're in a situationship, just getting to know this guy, whatever. If he's super inconsistent with you, he has a roster. And you don't belong on anyone's roster, so unless that's the vibe you're going for and unless you're okay with that, I would just drop him. For example, if one day he's texting you, calling you all day, what are you doing? What are you up to? When can we hang out? I want to see you. And then you don't hear from him for 3 days. He's completely disappeared. The cycle repeats. He comes back, clingy for a day or two, and then you don't hear from him for a week, whatever, back and forth. He's got a roster. He's busy entertaining other options. So hopefully you're doing the same. When a guy's inconsistent, the first thing that screams to me is I have a roster and I'm trying to keep up with my roster. So, red flag. There are so many more red flags, but these are just the ones that I've observed. Do what you will with this information.
Red flags you should not ignore. Number 1, they speak badly about their exes. All of their exes were toxic or narcissists or crazy. What's the common denominator there? Well, it's them. So either they are attracting these type of relationships, says something about them, or they perceive all of their relationships this way, also says something about them. Do not ignore.
All red flags. And if you ignore them, you are in for disappointment and potentially years of heartbreak. You see, we're going to start pretty easy, pretty simple with red flag number 1, the guy who won't stop talking bad things about his ex. First off, why are you talking about your ex on the first few dates? Okay, you shouldn't be doing that. But in the off chance that you asked about his ex and he immediately starts talking so much smack about her, red flag. He says she's manipulative and this and that. Listen, I'm not here to judge, okay? Maybe he did date Satan. I don't know. But the thing is, why is this man going to such lengths to talk shit about his ex? Is he still in love with her? Is he immature? Was he the problem? Red flag, anyways. Now, the second of all three red flags is the guy who keeps saying, I don't like to make plans. I'm so spontaneous. I like to keep things fun, cool, and casual. And all this means, please pay attention here. All this means is based on the amount of interest he has in you. He's already preparing you for the amount of effort he's willing to put in. And listen, I'm not your father, okay? I'm not here to tell you who you should and shouldn't date. If you're okay with a relationship that isn't going to go anywhere serious, by all means, go have fun, but not too much fun. Please, please, please do not stay in a situation because you hope something else is going to come out of it, or because you think that you can change him, or because you think that maybe if he gets to see how great of a person you are, he might change his mind. That is a recipe for heartbreak, not to mention what it does to your self-worth. Now, I promised you 3 red flags, and I give you 2. So here is the third one. Red flag number 3, the guy who is always too busy. People love to fight me on this one. They say, but we're all super busy. Listen to what I have to say, okay? I don't care how packed your calendar is. I don't care how many things you have to do. When you really care about someone and the feelings are there and you can see that it's gonna go somewhere serious, you make time.
Despite how much you're in love with a man, while in a relationship or while you're dating, you must not ignore any of these red flags. First, do not settle down or marry a man who beats you. I know you might be thinking that he used to beat me because he doesn't like the way I talk to him. Well, whenever he's drunk, he will just beat me. He has promised to change. He has promised to stop it. If a man beats you while you are in a relationship with him or while you are still courting with him, just know that he's going to deal with you mercilessly when he's married to you. Stop thinking that a man who beat you today when you're in a relationship with him is not going to beat you when you're married to him. In fact, he's going to beat you times 100 when he's married to you. Marriage does not make anybody better. Marriage brings out the worst part of you. Stop thinking that the person is going to change. Whatever thing you cannot iron out or you cannot settle or stop it in your relationship, do not think that you can stop it when you're married. The second red flag you should not for any reason ignore when you're dating any man is a man who is stingy. Do not settle or end up with a man who is stingy. A man who cannot give you the smallest of what he has. A man who knows that normally I'm supposed to do things for my woman. I'm supposed to buy this for my lady. I'm supposed to take care of her. I'm supposed to make sure she's looking good. But this man will never give you anything. In fact, he has been dating you for more than 2 years, but he has never given you $1. Anytime asking for money, he'll tell you, I'm broke. Just be patient. Things are not moving fine. But this guy spends money on himself. He buys good things for himself. He goes to club. He buys drink for his friends, but he has not given you anything. Be very wise. If you end up with that man, in fact, you'll be looking so tattered. X, you are earning money for yourself. The third red flag you should for no reason ignore is a man who compares you with his ex. You're dating a guy. Every little mistake you make, he'll tell you, if you're my ex, now my ex cannot do this kind of nonsense. When I was dating her, if I just ask her for money, she will give me. If she comes to my house, she'll just clean everywhere. She doesn't do this, she doesn't do that. All he does is to compare you to the ex. If the ex was so perfect, why didn't he end up with the ex? Let me remind you, that man that still compares you with the ex, he's still chatting with the ex because he's still keeping a whole lot of memories of the ex. Be very careful and do not settle with that person. The fourth kind of red flag that you should be very, very careful of as a lady is a guy you're dating that doesn't listen to anybody, doesn't regard anybody, doesn't even hold anybody in a very high esteem. In fact, when both of you go on heat, like when both of you become so argumentative or start quarreling, you tell him that this thing you're doing, I don't like it. I'm going to report it to your dad. He'll tell you, you gotta report me to my dad, report me to my mom. In fact, even report me to anybody. In fact, even call God self. This guy you're dating does not even have regard for anybody. So if you get married to this kind of a guy now, and there is a problem, who are you going to run to? When he doesn't even have any regard for anybody. If I were you, I'll pay attention to all of this. It's just as ladies, you guys always been carried away with love, 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 and promises. What is it?
Girls, ignoring red flags at the beginning of a relationship is going to come back and bite you in the arse. So little minor discrepancies in his behaviour at the start of the relationship. Maybe he goes out all weekend and gets drunk and doesn't answer his phone. You see him liking other girls' pictures on Instagram. You hear that he's still on dating apps when you two aren't fully official but you're still seeing each other. Little things like this, if you ignore these in the early stages, they'll only get worse. He's only going to get more disrespectful and he's only going to cheat on you more. So know that a zebra doesn't change its stripes, and what you see at the beginning is a sign of what's going to get way worse when you get full on.
If you are dating a man for 2 years and the man is not discussing future with you, is not talking about future with you, that is already a red flag. As a lady, do not ignore that red flag. Be looking for a way of escape now, because the day that man will see the lady that he wants to spend his lifetime with, is going to dump you immediately. So you too, do not ignore that red sign. How can you be dating a man for 2 years, is not discussing future with you? Just know that that's a red sign.
One major red flag that you should never ignore when you're dating a man is his lack of rejection. It's Coach B. Wiley here with another dating video for you. Can you ever imagine going through life and just literally getting every single thing that you've ever asked for, ever wanted, ever needed, never had to work hard for nothing? It's just like, dear Jesus, can I wake up to $1 million so I can swim around in it like Scrooge McDuck? And you literally wake up and you're swimming in money because you asked for it and you got it. If you're dating a guy like this, typically guys who don't get rejected are either going to be mama's boys, they're either going to be guys who are the only child, or they're going to be guys who are very, very good looking and do well for themselves. Usually it's going to fall into those top 3 categories, in my opinion. And when you're dating a guy like this and you just tell him no off something simple, and then he throws a tantrum, that is a red flag that does not need to be overlooked. And I know sometimes when you see a guy get angry, because usually guys are cool, calm, and collected, right? It's us women that can be in our emotions and lead with that. And that's not stereotyping women or stereotyping men for being cool, calm, and collected. I'm just saying, just take a look around. You're a woman, I'm a woman. We know how we get down sometimes. So if you're dealing with a guy who then throws a tantrum off of something small, then you need to take note about that. And you need to address it. And you address it, and then you watch how he acts and reacts, and you go from there. Usually guys will be like, oh my gosh, apologetic. I didn't realize I was throwing a tantrum. You know what? My bad. And they'll change their behavior usually. However, you do have some who are going to do what they want to do, how they want to do it. And if they're not getting what they want, how they want it, when they want it, the way they decided that they want it, then they're going to act a fool. These are the guys that I'm talking about. And if it's something small that you're rejecting, or you're saying, no, you're not into, you don't want to go there, you don't like it, whatever your reason is, you have a right to reject whatever it is. It could be that he wants to get jiggy with it and it's been like 9 months and you're not ready. You have the right to not be ready. He doesn't have the right to be angry and upset about it and then go silent because you wouldn't do what he wanted you to do. It also could be the fact that you don't want to date him anymore. You've been dating him for a year and you're just like, you know what? We're just not lined up where I want us to be, and that's okay. It doesn't mean you're a bad guy. It just means you're not the right guy. And then next thing you know, all heck is breaking loose and he's like cussing you out and being disrespectful and going on social media. Like, that's an escalation. And you have to pay attention to the escalations when you're dating guys who have never been rejected, because it's always going to start off small. It can start with him calling you a name and then jokingly laughing about it when you're dating and you like each other, and he can jokingly call you a name. And then you're just like, what the heck? And then he says, well, it's not a big deal. And then you tell him, no, it is a big deal. Don't do that. Don't do that. You're rejecting his response. And in his response, he gets mad because can't nobody tell him nothing. Nobody ever told him anything. And then he could retaliate and get mean and get angry. So if you're in this dating scenario and you're dating a guy that has never been rejected, it is definitely a red flag, because who in this world always has gotten what they want, when they wanted it, how they wanted it. Absolutely nobody. And if you have, you need to check in with yourself. Like, what would I say? What would I do if I was rejected? Would I go off the deep end? Like, this is serious business, but it starts small. So, ladies and gents, if you're watching this and you're dating someone who is sounding like what I'm describing, you want to have a conversation with them, because usually it's just something you can talk about, you can address it and move on. However, on the rougher side of things, some dudes can get real uptight and angry and have this revenge in their heart, and they want to come after you. And we don't want that. Don't nobody want that. So as soon as you see the red flag of rejection, you want to address it and then act accordingly from there. You got it? So if you're still here, thank you for subscribing. Subscribe to me on YouTube. Hit the notification bell so you know when videos are coming out. I do videos daily. And if you want more daily dating tips, of course, you can always follow me on TikTok as well. Talk to you later.
What you as a lady should not tolerate while dating. So this is a part 3 because I already did part 1 and part 2. So thank you for listening. So let's pack it up, okay? Let's be very quick and go straight to the first one. Is do not be afraid of your standards. Now, by being afraid of your standards, when you have a standard, you know what you're expecting. So there's a difference between compromising and being afraid of your standard, because I already mentioned do not compromise your standards in my first video. Now this is do not be afraid of your standard. By not being afraid of your standards while dating, it means that you are standing on your ground on what you want, no matter what the outside world is saying. Because in the society, they make women feel bad for expecting things, especially, standards vary from individuals, so it is like a preference. So when anyone, or maybe the person, the guy you're talking to, makes you feel bad for having standard, girl, stand on your ground. If the person does not comply, what are you even doing there in the first place? So yes, do not, how I put it, do not shake. The person tries to make you feel like you're doing too much or you're asking for too much, girl, no, do not even. Second thing you need to do, or should I say you should not tolerate while you're in a dating world as a lady, is not loving yourself. Not loving yourself is like you're setting yourself inside a trap, because you as a lady, you have a lot to lose. Because to be honest, when you're giving a guy a chance and everything in a relationship, you're actually not doing the guy a favor. You're not. You're honestly not doing the guy a favor. So please love yourself first. And by loving yourself first, I mean that the standards or the things you're expecting for in a relationship, you should have it first. You should have it within you first. That's what I mean by self-love. If you want to be taken out on this, you must actually must have been doing that. I'm not saying every day, but something that you have been looking forward to as your routine. You want flowers, you must have been giving yourself that flowers. How do you handle stress? How do you treat yourself? This should be something that you must have done to yourself first, so that if anyone is trying to or does not give you back that energy, it's like as if the person is trying to push you backwards, and it's as if the person is not impacting on your life. So there is really no need to be associating yourself with such person or such guy. The third one is you should be very observant when you are in the dating world, because the thing is that men are very simple. They literally reveal themselves. You don't even need to do too much. Observe. You don't even need to talk about yourself too much. And especially when the guy is saying, oh, what do you look for in a guy? That's a trap question, because they can use it for them to mask who they truly are, to just give you that satisfaction for maybe months or even years. And of course, they cannot truly hide it anymore, and they will expose their true selves, and you will be there crying, oh my god, I never knew this was who you. That's because you were exposing yourself. So observe who they are, because they usually reveal themselves quickly, because they can never mask who they are for so long. So once you observe, it's just very easy for them to reveal themselves without even trying. That's how they always do. And honestly, this is based on experience, because I've encountered a lot. One is that you should make sure as a lady, if a guy is overwhelmingly with love, you should make sure you are benefiting from the love bombing. It should not just exist on sex. If the guy is giving you so much overwhelming sense of attention in a short period of time. I mean, the love bombing can actually last for a really long time. It can last for a year. Honestly, they can. That goes how far they can pretend. So just make sure you are benefiting from it. Yep, you have to, because in case things go south, you have already gotten and benefited, and you'll not just be there crying and wailing. And of course, on the other angle, when they are love bombing, you have to keep it in mind that these people can change. Okay, do not try to dwell on the Lulu land. Okay, men and women were really raised by the society differently. So do not try to dwell or emotionally attach yourself, because yes, we are human beings. We tend to attach ourselves with someone when it just gets us. But like, wake up. This is the real world. We live in a patriarchal world when it's filled with games. Okay, so you have to just know this is how it is and just stay on guard, so that when the thing just poops, you will not be shocked. Next one is stand on your boundaries, because each and every one of us, we have individual sense of self, and there are some things we do not tolerate, or shall I say the deal breaker, when you are dating someone. So when you have a deal breaker and you have actually mentioned this, and the person is trying to impose such thing on you. For instance, in my former relationship, my ex, when I was dating him, I don't even know that it was even dating at all, because it was even looking like I was dating. But anyways, because he was always trying to impose the fact that, oh, he wanted me, as per wanted to sleep with me, and it was really uncomfortable. Thank God I did not even fall into that trap, honestly. So he was just trying to impose it. Like, he was not making me feel like a bad person for not wanting, that I was overreacting, I was doing too much, for not wanting or not prioritizing it. So yes, if someone is trying to cross your boundaries, that person does not like you, nor love you. The person does not respect your feelings. So it is a cue for such person to, or should I say, remove such person from your life, because that person does not deserve to be in your space.